Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Your host, V&M General Manager Kevin Jean and Iowa Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff will keep you up to date on what's happening on the best lakes in the Ark-La-Tex region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend, two guys who have fished at a high level with Pro-Am experience with ABA, BFLs, Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers with a wealth of knowledge and willing to share. So pull up a chair, kick back, and see why so many anglers watch Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And I'm Ranger Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M General Manager Kevin Jean. And today we got a really good show for you. We got not one, but two interviews, Kevin.
We do. We're going to cover Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend both today. We got the Rattle Trap tournament winner, Mr. Darren Taylor, coming on the show, kind of talk about his win. And we're also jumping over to Toledo Bend. Cole Moore, who won the Fishers of Men tournament on Saturday, Steve. As cold as it was, as windy as it was, Cole and his dad weighed in a little over 23, about 23 and a half pounds, actually. On Saturday, as tough as it was. So I know they have the college tournament coming up over there this weekend, so we wanted to get some info out about Toledo Bend and what's going on there, and nobody better to talk to than Cole. I know he's been on the water a lot over there. So. Yeah,
and we're getting a lot of good reports right now. A lot of guys going out catching fish, and of course, as me and Kevin before we went on air, we just were talking about it's getting ready to change. Weather is coming, and it's fixing to get cold, guys. So,
and Bass Champs guys are going to be, college guys on Toledo Bend too. It's going to be 22 degrees Saturday morning. That's going to be a cold takeoff, especially Bass Champs, because they're taking off. They're not trailering. That will be a brutal takeoff Saturday morning early.
So get your wife out there with the axe, get some firewood chopped, get all that taken care of. Make sure you got plenty of wood for this week because you're going to need it starting about Thursday night. Yeah. And but anyway, that all considered, the fishing is still probably going to be pretty good. Yeah. It's going to take the water a little while to cool down, even colder. So Saturday's probably going to be pretty good, and then as the days go on, and all week next week, Kevin, it's in the 30s for the low every day.
It is, Steve. Something I'm really anxious to see is this college tournament coming to Toledo Bend this weekend. So as we alluded to on last week's show, there was a 25-pound stringer. Now it was by a Toledo Bend hammer. Thibodeau over there over on Toledo Bend on Louisiana, Texas side had a 25-pound stringer in a club tournament last weekend, Steve. So and I know him, he pulled off of them. Cole had 23 and a half pounds with as bad as conditions as it was. Anxious to hear how long it took him to catch those fish.
Yeah, and Kevin, there's been a couple of big fish come off OHIV this last couple of weeks.
Couple 14-pounders. Yeah. It's been some big ones. But
do you think that trend will continue through the spring at OHIV?
OHIV did it last year at this time. It's that the pre-spawn phase over there at OHIV. Them big fish are just feeding up, and they're catching them on A-rigs over there out deep with the live scopes. So, there is. But, I'm really anxious to see what these college guys bring in on Toledo Bend this weekend. It's the first time Toledo Bend has had a big tournament in a long time. Kind of kicks off the year finally on Toledo Bend. I think you're going to see some really good bags weighed in on Toledo Bend. I think Bass Champs will have some good bags weighed in this weekend as well, but really anxious to see what these college guys bring in this weekend.
Will our local universities be represented pretty well in this event? ULM, Northwestern State, Stephen F.
I haven't looked. I know it's an MLF college event. I don't know who all is in it. I'm not sure.
And we're going to have that. We're going to also, again, we kind of made the announcement last week. We'll recover it again. We'll re-announce it this week about the big event coming to Red River 2023. We'll talk a little bit about that and all the upcoming schedules going on at Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend. Make sure you're aware of what's happening for the rest of this month and kind of going into next month. So, but before we get to our featured guests, we're going to take one quick break, recognize a few of our sponsors. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your health care needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6, just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. For all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry two of the best fishing boats on the market from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins, as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support Garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santones, Pro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49, or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to Tackle Talk Live. Again, I'm Ranger Diver Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M General Manager Kevin Jean, and you're watching a show that we're going to go straight to the horse's mouth right now. We're going to find out exactly what happened, how he did it. The winner of the Rattle Trap Tournament, Darren Taylor. Darren, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
We're doing good.
Steve, honestly, right now, if I had to say, probably the hottest stick on Sam Rayburn right now.
Yeah.
Placed, Darren, correct me if I'm wrong, 14th in the BFL last weekend. You won a little tournament Saturday on them horrible conditions. What'd y'all weigh Saturday?
2108.
2108 in those conditions.
Wow.
And what time was you done Saturday?
We were done about 10:30 Saturday.
Yeah. And then turn around with 22 pounds on Sunday. So my first question after saying all that is, do you have a group of fish? Do you have a spot?
Yeah.
Do you have a technique? Kind of give us a little hindsight here of kind of what you've got figured out.
I found a little area Wednesday practicing to fish Saturday, and I looked at 20 pounds Wednesday.
Okay.
So I kind of left the area and just left them alone, and decided that we would try to make it to them Saturday. We was able to make it to them, caught the 21 pounds, and we were done by 10:30, and went and got back on the trailer.
Well, Darren, also, let's go. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. Let's go back to the BFL. 14th place finish out of 230 boats. That's pretty darn good. Let's just backtrack to that just a little bit. Is this the same group of fish that you had found at that point? And were you dragging something different? You know, we all know you obviously caught them on some rattle trap bait last week because that's all you could throw. But the tournament before on the BFL, did you do anything different?
And I practiced all week for the BFL, and toward the end of the week, the weather was, predicted to be pretty brutal. So I scrapped all of that and stayed south actually all weekend. Mm-hmm. During, for the BFL. I stayed south and was throwing a moving bait.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Gotcha. So, I mean, yeah, that was very, and I don't know how many how many boats was in the tournament on Saturday. I think was it Rusty's team tournament?
It was Rusty's
on Saturday.
That's a pretty good upcoming.
Yeah, Rusty's doing a really good job with that. I've seen lots of them and kind of seen what he's done with it, and talked to a lot of people that's fished it. But man, that was really use the word here than use the wrong word, but man, I would have been nervous fishing Saturday and weighing 20-something pounds, knowing a tournament of the rattle trap size on Sunday. So, I mean, Saturday when you caught that 21, did you feel like, I mean, you definitely could come back there Sunday and do it again?
I did. I thought that there was plenty of fish there to come back to. We rolled in there Sunday morning and started fishing, and the fish were gone.
Oh, wow.
Water temperature went from 60 degrees to 52 degrees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I managed 4 swimmers out of that area that we started in, and I had to start moving around after that.
Now, Darren, these fish you're finding with your electronics, that your electronics was a big player in you locating these fish?
They were in the bigger fish, that I upgraded to.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you went there and you caught 4 swimmers. Take us through Sunday. Did you have to go to a backup spot? Did you leave and come back to that spot?
Yeah,
I mean, how did we get to 22?
I started moving out further. I was toward the back of a pocket, and gotcha. I started moving back toward the front, and caught my fish with a 622. Mm-hmm. So that put a limit together. I had roughly 14 pounds.
Yeah.
And I went to a spot that I had found with my electronics and started throwing a 3/4 ounce trap and yo-yoing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got you.
So
now, Darren, this cold weather that's coming in, what are you anticipating? We're talking cold. We're talking in the 20s, 3 or 4 nights in a row. Do you think it's going to push the fish out into those brush tops? They're going to go to wood probably, aren't they?
I'm assuming that they probably will. The fish that were there, like I said, Sunday they're not there. So
yeah.
So one thing, Darren, I want to bring up, and it's a sponsor of the show, and I know me and you talked last night. You want to make sure we talked about, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong again, but first, second, third place in that trap tournament was all caught on Pride rods.
Correct. Myself, Ryan Hightower, and Cole Stewart are all Pride team guys.
Wow.
Which rod are you throwing that trap on?
I'm throwing the trap on the 7.6 mag rocket, and then the rocket also.
Oh, okay.
So has that rod got a soft tip, a good backbone on it?
Yes, the mag rocket has a fast tip mm-hmm. and a lot of backbone, and the rocket is actually a lighter action rod.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of line you throwing that with?
15-pound fluorocarbon.
Fluoro, okay.
So, Darren, are you a braid guy? Do you like throwing a trap on the braid, or do you stick to fluorocarbon all the time?
Man, I stick to fluorocarbon on most of my moving baits unless I'm, in the woods.
Yeah.
And then I'll put it on braid.
Yeah.
After this weekend, I'm going to need a line sponsor with that wind. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand that one. So, Pride rods. Give us that rod again, the one you're throwing.
The 7.6 mag rocket and the 7.6 rocket.
Gotcha.
They are hands down every fish that I hooked up on, I put in the boat.
Good deal.
All right. Well, Darren, hey, man, we appreciate you kind of giving us a little detail. We know you got a lot coming up, and a lot of guys just ain't wanting to share too much right now. We understand that. So
he's got bass champs coming up. He's got, so understand we don't want to get into too much detail and hurt Darren for what he's got coming up. I'm sure you fishing the Brandon Belt?
I am.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. We don't want to dive too much into all Darren's information.
Right.
One thing, Darren, I am going to ask is that I'm assuming is that you feel like that is staging fish is getting ready to move up into that pocket there?
I do believe it is.
Yeah.
And I think with this weather coming in, Kevin and Darren, I think it's going to push them fish away from those staging spots.
Kind of out deeper, like a little, like he said, they'll probably go on out a little bit deeper.
That's what I think will happen. But.
Well, Darren, man, good luck this weekend in the Bass Champs. We wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll have you on next weekend after you win Bass Champs.
Man, I sure hope so. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Darren. Darren Taylor, and winner of the Rattle Trap tournament last weekend with 22 pounds, and And again, finished 14th in the BFL. And like I said, that's nothing to sneeze at because that was a 230 boat field. If you made top 40 in that, you had a pretty good day. So
Darren's been hot. He's found some fish. He's got a little something going on, and obviously following those fish out. As he said, he caught them pretty shallow on Saturday. Yeah. Those fish moved out a little bit on Sunday. He was able to relocate them back off a little bit, and caught them a little bit deeper on Sunday. So I'm assuming those fish, especially with the 20-degree mornings, they're going to keep kind of backing out a little bit, Steve. Except for those ones around the mid-lake area, Veach to Five Fingers, all that area that's got some grass. Now those fish, they're going to hang around up there in that shallow grass. I can definitely see some good stringers being caught this weekend there.
I can see some punching going on, especially if the sun comes out and
the trap bite and the chatterbait and the in that grass. I can definitely see that.
Give us the rattle trap results.
Okay. So again, Darren Taylor and Austin Yeager, which is his stepson, I believe he told me, is a total weight of 2203, and he had the big fish of 622. First place brought home $5,000. Second place, Ryan Hightower and Ryan O'Neill was 2151, had a big fish of 704. Third place, Marshall Hughes and Cole Stewart had 2137. Fourth place was a total of 2122, and it kind of, Steve, just went slowly on down from there.
Why was 20-pound bags, though?
They had 8 bags over 20 pounds.
So what was the last 20-pound bag?
20.29, Clay Phillips and David Shaw.
What place?
8th place. They had 8 bags over 20.
That's
had a 921 big fish caught. Colt Deere and Eric Williamson had a 921 big fish. So.
Wind probably helped them a little bit. For that.
It did, but it also, that morning, I bet it was hard to move around, which they could trailer.
No doubt about that.
They could trailer. Shout out again to Pride Rods. First, second, third place, all being Pride Rods members. Yeah. You heard the rod him say he was throwing.
That's
you guys will make sure and check that out for sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, when we return, we'll have our next guest, Cole Moore, winner of the Fishers of Men event on Toledo Bend. Stay tuned. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to Tackle Talk Live. Thank you for tuning us in. This segment presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas, and Lone Star Bass Trail. Kevin, you got anything update for Lone Star?
Lone Star's got their open. Make sure I'm right here. Yeah, their Lone Star Bass Trail Open is the last week in January. January 30th. It'll be the first term of their open event. Guys, make sure to check out their Facebook page. Give them a like. Give them a follow. So for some different tournaments, they do some tournaments on Lake Nacogdoches over there in East Texas. They also have some different style tournaments like the MLF format. They do the Ironman tournaments. Make sure to give them a like and follow on Facebook. I think just for some different tournament formats you're looking for, give them guys a like over there on their Facebook page.
Also, the Lakes Insurance now got 2 locations, guys. If you're looking for them over around Sam Rayburn, they got a place over at Brooklyn, Texas. Check it out. You can probably look it up online. Go to the Facebook page. I'm sure that they'll have the location for you right there, and also in Nacogdoches as well, their main office. So, but congratulations for opening up a new location for Lakes Insurance Agency over there at Nacogdoches. All right, on the phone, we've got the winner of the Fishers of Men, which was a really tough and probably very windy day on Toledo Bend. Cole Moore with 23.5 pounds to win that Fishers of Men event. Cole, how you doing, bud?
Pretty good. About yourself?
Good. We're doing great.
And Steve, we alluded to the last Darren Taylor being one of the hottest sticks over there on Rayburn. Cole's having a heck of a year to start the year. Finished 3rd in the BFL, Cole?
That is correct.
3rd in the BFL last weekend. Turn around, win the Fishers of Men this weekend, 23.5 pounds. Cole, let's jump right into it. Toledo Bend, there's some big bags showing up. Saturday was about as bad as weather as you probably could have as far as wind on Toledo Bend, especially.
Yes.
Now, was that a trailer tournament?
It was. They did. They had the option of they was really fixing to cancel the tournament, but Mr. Dick Polk, the director, whatever he chose, he said it'd be safe if he'd let some guys trailer if they wanted to. But I mean, dude, as hard as the wind was blowing, it didn't matter where you went. You wasn't going far from wherever you put in.
I got you.
He did allow us to trailer.
So let's kind of jump into that. So, take us through as bad as it was on Saturday. I'm assuming moving around was kind of limited. 23.5 pounds. Did you already have these fish located? Is this the prime area you wanted to fish? Kind of take us through that.
No, sir, not at all. I practiced Thursday before it and caught some really good fish. Figured out what the fish was doing and where I was catching them. But come Saturday, could not fish not one of those spots at all. I tried 2 or 3 of them. You couldn't do nothing out there. The trolling motor was out the water, and you was going backwards away from the spot. So it kind of helped me and hurt me a little bit. I was kind of disappointed the first hour or two because I couldn't fish none of the stuff. But I knew what the fish was doing, and so I took the Garmin Panoptics and went to looking for them in the same depth of water as what I found them Thursday.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you went back more up into the creeks?
Right. You had to be close to the bank, and I was really looking for the depth.
Yeah.
All the fish that I've been finding was anywhere from 25 to 30 foot of water. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them was suspended and relating to bait fish for sure. And so if it was a deep pocket or a deep creek or mainly a creek, I could troll around with the Panoptics and find some bait fish, and you could see some fish close to it, and I was able to catch them.
So was all of these in one area, Cole, or you just put your head down on the Panoptics and went?
Really, there was one little area that I found that day. I think we had three of our weight fish come, in that one little area. But the others, we really didn't catch many fish that day. Only caught about 12 or 13 fish.
Yeah.
But the others was just scattered out one here or there. But there was one little area that produced three good ones for sure.
So all 5 that y'all weighed in, basically you saw them on the Panoptics.
I watched every one of them each bait.
Yeah. So was there a specific technique, Cole, or was it trash fishing 101? Was it multiple techniques, or was you able to settle in on one technique?
And what bait? I don't think we discussed that yet.
Or what bait?
Man, I stuck with the Alabama rig, and that was the same thing I did at Rayburn the weekend before.
Yeah,
I had my confidence up from the weekend before, and I just went and did the same thing. And but I stuck to an Alabama rig, just because I know I was relating to bait fish mostly.
Yeah,
and it seemed to work. If you got it pretty close to one, normally he would bite it.
Cole, let's talk about your setup that you're using on that Alabama rig. What size rod, what length rod, and what's your gear ratio on your reel?
I use a 7.5 foot heavy action, or if you can find a medium heavy, it's got a pretty good bit of backbone to it. That works good as well. I had 2 different rods. Both of them were 7.5 foot though, heavy action. Mm-hmm. I use 50 to 65 pound braid, and the gear ratio was about I think a 6-2 or 6-3 gear ratio reel. Not too fast.
So it's not a high speed reel, right?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay.
So, Cole, I mean, they got that college tournament, and I was talking to Steve before the show here. They got that college, the MLF college circuit coming to Toledo Bend this weekend. I'm really expecting it's going to be cold, but I think the winds are going to be okay. I think them guys are going to be able to move around okay.
Yeah.
And as good as those guys are with electronics, I'm really expecting. I mean, this is the first good-sized tournament that's been on Toledo Bend in a while. I'm really expecting a good showing weight-wise in this tournament. Tell me your thoughts.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Just because, like you say, like the technology nowadays and all the young anglers or whatever, a lot of them are going to know how to use them and know what they're looking for. And if there's going to be several of those teams that are finding those fish that stage in a creek bend or something somewhere, and I think they're going to have some really big bags.
So that's my question. So you're in these creek bends where these fish are starting to move back. And just taking the live scope 25, 30 foot and finding the bait, then finding the fish, and just throwing at the fish.
Correct.
Yeah.
Go. I want to also back up to the Fishers of Men tournament. What a great organization. I've actually fished Fishers of Men years ago and made 2 or 3 national championships. Actually loved fishing that circuit. How's the participation level on Toledo Bend for this circuit?
You're as far as like boat numbers and stuff? The boat number, we had 34 boats Saturday.
That's pretty good, though.
For far as weather conditions, I did think
34 under those conditions.
Yeah, that's not bad at all for the Fishers of Men. That's pretty good.
I would have said, if the weather would have been, pretty decent, I figured the numbers would have at least doubled.
Now, but Mr. Dick Polk is back, right? Because this is his first year back with Fishers of Men at that in the East Texas, right? Is this first or second?
No, this will be his second year.
Yeah.
I think
So before he left,
he's back by demand.
Yes, before he left, because I fished him a lot. Matter of fact, Cole, I fished a lot of them with Cole, and we were averaging 90 to 100 boats a tournament.
Yeah,
and
that's a great turnout for Fishers of Men.
Absolutely. And Mr. Dick, he's from Houston area. He went back home and was not over this area anymore. But now that he's back and over that, I expect those numbers to rise again.
Yeah. And again, great organization.
So Cole, weekend before the BFL on Sam Rayburn, same technique. You said you threw the Alabama rig over there too. Kind of same technique. Back of the pockets, 25, 30 foot. Kind of tell us a little bit about what you did on Rayburn to get third in that BFL.
Well, I don't know if y'all remember the BFL the weekend, which was last weekend.
Yeah. The
wind was about the same.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And it kind of hindered people not being able to run around a lot. And I've done the same thing. Luckily, I found one creek bend the day before the tournament it was full of fish, but I didn't catch a fish there in practice over 2.5 pounds. Mm-hmm. And come Saturday, I couldn't run nowhere else. I tried to run some other stuff. I was like, well, I'm stuck to that one little spot. So I said, I'm gonna try to catch every one of them out of it, just see what comes out of there. Luckily, after you catch about 10 or 15 small ones, you catch a good quality fish.
Yeah.
What'd you have? What was your weight?
I think 16, 15, right at 17.
Yeah.
Now, was you dragging in that event? A-rig?
A-rig.
Still throwing A-rig. I'm sorry. You're right. You said that earlier. Yeah, throwing A-rig, both events.
So, and for anybody that doesn't know, Cole is a guide. That's what he does for a living. He's a guide on the lake, Toledo Bend, mainly white perch, probably 5 or 6 months out of the year, Cole, then bass trips, right?
That is correct.
What's the name of the guide service?
CM2 Guide Service.
CM2 Guide Service. I know you can check them out on Facebook for sure. Cole, what you fishing this weekend?
Man, probably nothing. I ain't got enough clothes.
I'm with you, man.
I knew he didn't like the cold, so that's why I was wanting to ask him. You're not jumping in bass champs?
Well, I was about to say, the only thing I know of is bass champs, and I was kind of going to use a couple days this week. Rayburn's off limits to bass champs if you're fishing that. So I was going to kind of use a couple days this week or this weekend and kind of pre-fish for the Brandon Belt tournament coming up.
Yeah.
Well, Cole, I don't know how old you are, but I can tell you right now, I'm 60 years old. Them cold weather days, they ain't fun like they used to be.
That is correct.
Well, good deal, Cole. Well, man, I appreciate it. Congratulations on the win this weekend. Tell your dad I said congrats as well. And then, man, we'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Cole Moore, and over there with his guide service at Toledo Bend, and appreciate Cole coming on, giving us some good details there as to what's going on at Toledo Bend, how he caught them, and Kevin, anytime you're on Rayburn, Toledo Bend, probably Fork, Texoma for sure. The wind plays a factor.
It does.
And if you can't trailer, it really plays a factor.
Well, both tournaments this weekend, the guys we've had on that won both tournaments, they were trailering events.
Yeah.
No way possible you could have had an event this past weekend and not been trailering.
Why doesn't the BFL do that? Why will they not turn that? I mean, especially with 230 anglers, boats in that event.
Yeah.
You know, and you got a co-angler to keep you honest. I mean,
I don't know.
That's the purpose of the co-angler, I thought. But anyway, I don't know.
I don't know on that one.
And it's the safety of the anglers.
No, it is.
You got to put that first.
Yeah.
So I don't know why BFLs don't do that. But you're right. Everyone I've ever fished, they've never ever trailered. So,
but you know, to hear what Cole's doing on Toledo is you know, Toledo right now is, man, it's kind of what you have to do, Steve. It is. Yeah. There's just no vegetation right now unless you catch them on a point or something. Now, I know there was almost a 10-pounder caught this past weekend. I believe it was Friday. Jack Tyndall, down there from Beaumont area, they caught him and his dad came out. He's fishing the college event this weekend, I know. And he was pre-fishing, and his dad caught a 9.8. Now, he will not allow me to say what it was caught on.
Exactly.
Jack might be mad at me for that. But I know it was a 9.8 caught. I mean, the big fish are biting.
Oh, yeah.
It's just trying to locate them. Like Cole said, he caught 23.5 pounds somewhere he hasn't even been fishing.
Yeah.
Now, it was all off the Panoptics.
Right.
But it's, you know, it's being able to locate them fish right now. If you can locate them, you can get them to bite, and they're big ones.
Bass Champs. Predict them weight. I'm going to say it's going to be down a little bit. I don't think it'll be a 25 plus. I'm going to say 23.
I'm going to say 25.
Are you?
I'm going to say 25 because there's going to be a window that in the morning,
and it's
quick. It's going to take about 45 minutes. But one of them, because them fish are moving out. Here's the reason I say that: the fish are moving out staging. They're moving the fish that had done moved in because it got warm.
Yeah.
This water temperature, and as Darren's already alluded to, the way he called them Sunday, they done moved out.
Right.
I think they're going to continue to move out. Yeah. And one of those deep guys, Derek Mundy, I mean, we can go down the list. Albert, Shane Campbell. We can go down the list of those deep guys that know where they go to, them hard spots out there out deep. And one of them's going to run to one of them hard spots or one of them deep spots that morning cranking or throwing a football jig and catch a big bag in about 30 minutes and it's going to be over with.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to go with.
You can trailer in Bass Champs, right?
Bass Champs will let you trailer. Now, for the cold, I don't see Bass Champs letting you trailer. Only if it's like bad windy. If it is a lake condition that they don't feel safe for you. Just because it's cold, they're not going to let you trailer.
No, cold ain't nothing to do with it, but the rough water will. Okay, well, and speaking of upcoming tournament, Bass Champs is this weekend, January 22nd, out of Humphreys Pavilion. And by the way, Kevin said the boat ramp is repaired and it's back open again. Yes. So you guys that went out of the BFL on Twin Dykes, God bless you, and I'm sure you're happy that you ain't got to go there again. But the next one is January 27th. The MLF pros come to town over there at Sam Rayburn. That pro circuit kicks off the 2022 season. And then the 29th, which is, I guess, a Sunday, Outlaw Team Series number 1 kicks off. And that's the 29th
is Saturday.
So the 27th is a Thursday.
Correct. That's the pro circuit. That's the OFLW
right.
guys.
27th is a Thursday.
Yes.
And then January 30th, Lone Star Bass Trail open on Toledo Bend. We'll also be doing their kickoff tournament.
And Steve, and good point here. Toby Jones, good friend of mine from Shreveport area. He's talking about you don't think that it'll be 25 plus. Keep in mind, Sunday was tough fishing. Tough conditions. You're only allowed to use route trap baits, and there was still 8 bags over 20 pounds weight.
That's true. They didn't get to slow down, throw a jig or a worm.
This is Toby here, and Toby says it's going to take 28 to 30. I'm still going to stick with my 25, but there's not a lot of fish being caught, but the right ones are being caught.
I think the water temperature is at 52. It'll be in the 40s now.
High 40s.
Yeah, by Saturday. It's going to be cold.
But I didn't think about that. You had 8 bags over 20 pounds, and all you can use a route trap. Now, a lot of guys are going to throw a route trap this time of year, especially when it gets colder this weekend.
Exactly.
But I still think one of those deep spots will play this weekend. So,
real quick, again, we're going to re-announce the ABA Ray Scott National Championship. Those guys that are fishing the ABA Open Series in East Texas and South Texas, you will be competing for an opportunity to go to the Red River next April. It's coming to Shreveport. The ABA Ray Scott National Championship is coming to Shreveport next April, April of 2023. So you're fishing this year to get to that for next year. And good luck to all the guys that are fishing. I think ABA numbers will be coming up now that there's something coming to our region, a national championship of this caliber. I think that's good. Also, if you're looking to fish the ABA Solo Tour, numbers are coming up. It's starting again. They don't open up till March, so I felt like the numbers would start to be on the rise once we got closer to March, and they are. They're coming up. Participation is starting to rise. People are signing up. The first one's March 18th and 19th on Lake Texoma. Second one is April 22nd, 23rd at Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma, and the third one is June 17th and 18th on Sam Rayburn. So check it out. You'll like it. I fished it last year. It's solo. It's exactly what it says it is. You're fishing by yourself in your boat, and it's a great turnout. Well run by Chris Wayan and the ABA organization. So thank you for all y'all do, Chris and the ABA, for the stuff that's going on in this region. And but anyway, and one more thing, Bass Cash Bass.
Get registered, people.
They're catching them and cashing in already.
There's no reason if you're going to go to Sam Rayburn Toledo Bend at all between now and July 4th on Toledo Bend, you have to get Bass Cash Bass registered. Don't be the guy that doesn't get registered. It costs $50 to get registered. Don't be that guy that doesn't get registered and catch that tag. No. Any tag is $1,000.
Exactly, and it's almost dumb not to sign up. If you're fishing Toledo, Rayburn, Caddo, Fork, any one of those, sign up. I mean, good gosh, it's crazy not to. And again, you can catch a tag fish from 3 or 4 years ago. You're still a winner. You're going to get sunglasses, a new rod. They're giving away some good prizes for even. Yep. So there's a lot of tag fish out there now. Even from years past that you can still catch and cash in on. But again, you got to sign up. So, all right, that's it. Kevin, you got anything else? That's it. We appreciate you tuning us in. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of this show, our arms are wide open. We'd love to have you. Facebook us, message us on Facebook. Kevin will get back to you. He'll send you a packet. We'll call you, whatever we need to do. And but we'd love to have you. Our numbers are shooting out the roof right now. We had a great response today. Mm-hmm. We had a great response to last week's show. Thank you guys for watching last week. Over 1,000.
1,100 on YouTube and over 2,500 on Facebook.
Oh, over 3,000 views, guys. We can't say thank you enough. We appreciate it. I guess if they value our opinion, Kevin.
I don't know if it's ours. I think it's people we have on.
It probably is. But anyway, we thank you for tuning us in. Thank you, James Stanfield, for producing this show. He does a great job. And we're looking forward to seeing you next week right here, 11:30 next Tuesday for Tackle Talk Live.